I am not a financial advisor. These videos are all meant for educational purposes only. All Complete Trader Academy videos are my personal opinion and perspective. Trading carries a high level of risk, and all results are your own responsibility. Please always demo first. Hey everybody, welcome back to CT Review. Today is February 10th, Monday 2025. Hope you had a good day, good weekend here. So I'm going to really quick just go over kind of like Thursday and Friday and then kind of discuss what's going on today. But general speaking, as you get, this is a 1 hour chart. As you can see, Thursday we let up. We reached our target. I was talking about getting into here. You had that on the daily. If you look to the bottom left, you have that big gap there with no bodies. You had this big wick here. And then ultimately we had that high here. Well, these highs we would have loved to have rushed up there, but you know, they did not, obviously. But that's the previous week's high. So if I was talking about Friday making this video, if I made this video, then I would be talking about the previous week of that, which would be this high. See that? See how we tag it and then we sell off. Now watch this. I mentioned this. I think I mentioned this in the group. I'm on the community tab, but if you take a look at this real quick, just this range here, you can see that we sold off. So here's the thing. So Thursday I didn't make a video, or Friday. So Thursday we just pretty much shaked out. So a speaker here. So just pretty much hunting liquidity, and it's a small transition day. And then Friday we reached up and then selling off. Take a look here. I'm sorry, we sold to the 40%. This is a 38 level on the fib, so you can see when we sold off, look at the bodies respecting that gap right there. We snagged that high and then we sold off. Pretty classic for the wick of the week. And as you can see, we sold off to 40%, which is pretty deep. Beautiful, pretty much wiping out all that liquidity. You got the imbalance right there, coming back into the range. And then so that being said, then we gapped up. I'm sorry, down. We gapped down this Sunday night, obviously. And then during Super Bowl, right? And then we came right back to this inversion. Look at that, to the head right there, plus that week's low, that the last week's Wednesday's low, they rushed for that too. Now, here's the fire here. Watch this. So we came to a delivery of 50% on this range from here to here, which is technically that range. And then you'll see, well, that's pretty much good enough there. But then if you take a look at this range from here to here, I've still got it on the chart. Look where 50% is, and look where the price came. So while we're trying to climb up this ladder here, we came right back into a discount there as well. So that range there. Plus, I wanted to also mention, I don't think I mentioned this last week, which I wanted to, but look at the 4 hour. Take a look at the bodies respecting that 50% of that big gap of last week. Look at 50%. Did I mention this? I'm not sure if I mentioned this, but I know I've been wanting to mention it for all these videos, but I just keep forgetting to do it. And then as you see, we had high, low here. But look how the top 25% is also respecting that 4 hour. Beautiful there, respecting that. And then boom, we drop down. And then on the 1 hour, you could see, well, yeah, I think I've discussed that. So, all right. So if I can, just trust me, man. I got a headache, dude. So my eye's been bothering me. I have something wrong with my right eye. It's been like really bad. I think I'm really getting eye fatigue from charts and lights and all this shit. But it's been affecting my trading. But especially today. But what I want to say here, I got a lot going on here. I know. So and now they're overlapping all these new gaps, and it's like they're fucking massive. And it's like, dude. So just try not to look at the gray so much right now while I'm explaining this, but we sold off, and then sure enough, I ended up catching this trade last night, somewhere down here when we rated that liquidity right there, and then I understood that we were at 50% of here, this range here. See that range? 50% here. So tried to snipe that, and then I ended up getting out like right here or something last night, and I couldn't hold it any longer. It was just massive. I mean, it was just so much going on and I was busy, but we came to a 25% of the bottom bearish imbalance. This is still in play right here. This bearish imbalance. I know, man, trust me, I know it's sloppy. I'm just trying to leave it so I don't. Anyways, so we get to the top 25%, and then we leave this gap here, right here, right. So I would like to come to it, but I was mentioning, if you've been watching the videos for all these weeks, I've been saying February 10th. The historical data shows that we're supposed to be flying up. So this might be a bad trade that I'm in now. But the purpose of it was because I understand that they do this at the end of the day. And what the goal was I was trying to sweep liquidity. So let me do this on the 15-minute. So the price comes up here. We hit that bottom 25% of that imbalance. We get to the gap right here. We're pretty much at the midnight level. See the orange level dragged out. That's the midnight level. We're bouncing on it. Look at all the liquidity still built. And I at 9:30 I would have liked to have rushed it for this, but because it's such a big opening gap, we might not even hit it. And we're bullish. And I've been saying that February 10th we're supposed to be taking off if we're really bullish. And we're respecting that historical data. And sure enough, it's panning out. It's still in there. But I just feel like this was a little bit too easy. And then, so was this 9:30. So let me continue here. So then we get to 50%, right, of that bearish imbalance. Plus, that's the bottom level of that gap from that week right there. Again, I understand this is like annoying. So that being said, I also projected here the swing. So when we gap down and then the swing here up here on the 15-minute. So we get to a 101.5, and this is a nice area for it to stop and retrace. And this is actually what the purpose of this sell is right now. This idea and logic. So and I would like to reach that level and then retrace down. I do have this 15-minute, these three candles projected. Consecutive. I got it projected down. I would love to get into this 1 to 1.5 at the least. Why do I say that? Because not only do we have the opening range gap that's completely empty still, but then we have that liquidity sitting there, and I just feel like they're not gonna let you ride up top without taking this out. But at the flip side, at the same time, this is a way for no one to get in, and then it would be a dangling carrot and we never come back down. So, hey, it is what it is, and I'm seeing what I can do here with that understanding. Now, let me go real quick here. And then, so here we go. So 902 or something here. Yeah, so I get in this sell here, and I'm selling it down. And this is a minimum target. So this is see this breakout level right here? We bounce right on top of it with an imbalance. Beautiful. So I've also got these two candles projected down. And then you'll see that 1 to 1.5 is here, and then 2 to 2.5 is here. This was more important for me also because of the fact that this was also a breakout level. And then we use that as an inversion. We push down, and we get there already at 2 to 2.5 right there. Beautiful. Now, here's the buy. Here's why this buy was so difficult, was because it made equal lows. And for me, I'm personally just not going to buy that. And then this dangling carrot also tricked me. And it worked. I mean, but at the same time, I personally need to understand that that's just a pullback, right? It's a blessing for a pullback. It's just a higher low. We're also tagging this breakout level again. So it's just a higher high and a higher low. Made it more difficult than I needed to be. But then as you can see here, I projected this down. I mentioned that. Then I got projected this candle, this 925. So if you project it up here, you can see we got a 3.5 to 4 here. So what we do, 930 pops up, we're shaking out here, high, low, but we never break that low, and they're fucking so dirty for doing that. But I was gonna say, so that dangling carrot. So then we pushed up, right? We get to 3.5 to 4. Once we reach there, then we retrace. This is a higher high. It's a high, and then they come back deep for a higher low, right? So what do? They come back down, back into the first imbalance, which is obviously the 935. They squeeze out anybody pushing out trader here. But for me, this is also something I just couldn't buy because of this equal low, and then possibly getting into this gap right here, which would then obviously hit the top 25% of the opening range gap, and then a little bit married to this area here. Because of the fact that and the reason why I say all that is because also, see this gap down here? When we pushed back up, it's only offering buys, right? So they don't really give a chance for anyone to have sell price action in here. So just gapping down is not fair, right? So it's all blue bodies, right? So, I mean, in a perfect world, I would like to see it come down here again before it goes back up. But at the same speaking, it just might not. This is going to be a very tough situation. And this is what? This is the second week, right, of trading, which is also a tough week in the month. So no bodies. So let me go. I want to make this short. Look how it bounced off the midnight level, right? Look at that shit squeezing out, and then the curve. Now it worked, right? But again, induced liquidity. So see here, it's like, okay, let me go to the 1 minute here. So this push down, so it opens here. This opens here, and then it pushes down, right? Pushes down, then it pushes back up. All right, so then it pushes back up. But right now, they have only offered buying here. There's no selling. So pretty bogus. And then I'd like to come down here. At the least down here, maybe even tap this area here, but I don't need it to close or anything. But hey, like I said, it might not happen, but we'll see. So going back into this situation here, there's a lot going on here, but if you pay attention closely, you'll see that again, just made higher lows. So higher high, then higher low. We came deep into the first imbalance, but it held. Now this was suspect because the bodies are below the 50%, but where is the bodies? If you take a look here, where is the bodies here? It's at the bottom 25%. So it's still legal in simple terms. It's still viable to still work as a higher low. So anyways, I measure this last up candle. This is that 946. You can see the 2 to 2.5 here. We never reach here, and they just kind of stay stuck in there, right? So that being the case, this held as support. Then we push up. Now I got this candle here measured, this 951, push up here, and you can see all the way. We got a 2 to 2.5 here. We kind of consolidate there. And then the 3.5 to 4. Look at that, beautiful. And then also when we push up here, so it's pretty much once we get above this candle, you can see this candle here, this 953. We push up and then we sink back in, right? And that's a possible entry. What do? Very dirty. 954 pushes up one more time, and then 955 digs below that low, which would have been that perfect entry just to wipe them out. So real dirty. And but that would be the entry right there. It's also 50% of this 951 down candle. We're also in a macro, so our direction is up, and that's to explain this. But me personally, I just had to sit back, man. So I did, and I also caught this sell, by the way. I caught this sell down into here, but here was just really just fucked up. So it is what it is. So then I missed the whole buy, of course, and then the price pushes up here. You get this down candle right here, so this 1002. So the 4-hour candle is in play. We push up, and because it comes above and it comes down, like the price doesn't have to really come down here when we're pushing up, right? So then we get this kind of breakaway imbalance right here, but I've got that down candle projected, this 1002. If you watch it up, it's a 3.5 to 4 right here. And then it's kind of in the vicinity of this reversal here. So sure enough, we do that. Let me take this off because I don't want this on the 1 minute here. I could leave it on a 5 for now, or just 15. But anyway, so that imbalance right here, this 1005, right? We use that. So we push up, we get to, and by the way, I'm sorry, we're also at the top 25% of that bearish imbalance. You see, I got it. I got it quadded here on the 15 minute. I don't have it shown on the 4 hour because it's just too much noise. But you can see right here that I got it quadded, right? So where's 50%? Right there. So this whole area right here, as you can see, it's kind of like hugging that area, and that was using it as a significance of support, and it is what it is. So it's obviously the 1 minute's gonna extreme out the lines, but look at the 15 minute. You can kind of see it kind of holding there, but pretty much at the 9:30 as well. But yeah. So what am I also saying? Buy, sell, buy, sell, buy. So forget the first move down or anything like that. We push up here. That's move one. That's buy. Move down two. That's sell. Push up three. Push up. That's number three. Sell number four. Buy number five. And then this is a failed high, which is also a possible situation. And then now we're getting another sell here. So I'm in this sell here. Also caught this sell, by the way, because today was more playing defense, which even though my mistake is I should just only be looking for buys, and I knew that, but just this right here just kind of messed me up mentally, and I had to play defense instead of offense, which is just not cool. But at the same speaking, I'm also playing that defense because of the fact that I just feel like this is really suspect, and that we can get into here. And if it's a higher low, they've been training you for these higher highs, higher lows right here. Pull down and then higher highs, higher lows. And the only issue with today or this week is that we might not get that same higher high, higher low. But in a perfect world, I'd like to, since we pushed up here and we squeezed out all these sellers, I'd like to see us come back down, somewhere in this vicinity. I know that sounds crazy, but it's what I'm saying. I'd like to see it a higher low, preferably to get it right into here, to be honest with you. And then buy back up. I mean, that's, again, perfect world. But I just feel like this was just way too fucking easy. So, and then the purpose of selling right now is because we want to wipe out these buyers, right? So keeping it simple, but we'll see that idea panning out. But again, eyesore, can't miss that. So we're pushing up here. We're also, as you can see, wiping the liquidity to the left. We have this last up candle on this is the 9:30 from Friday. So why am I also interested in selling here was because of the fact that we're also getting to that 9:30 level. Take a look to the right of the chart while I do this. You can see that this vicinity is really nice, coupled with the projections. Yes, it fell short of that of that gap, which is also a dangling carrot suspect, but I just understood that they pretty much did enough damage to the sellers here. Now their intention is to get some of the buyers, right? So that being the case, we get we had a funky shift right here for a moment. It was just what do you call it, man? Fucking tired, dude. Just a fake move, right? But this was definitely a loss. And then this pushed up here. We had these consecutive candles. We get the break right there. We get the retrace back up where? Right up to the top candle. That indecisive pin bar or hammer or whatever the fuck. You see how we tapped that right there, which is super deep, super bogus, but that wouldn't explain that. So you got the projection here. So the projection here, now here's the thing. You could have measured it here, but it would have been kind of awkward. Right? Because when we retrace back down here, we don't get to the 2. But look where we conveniently come to, also that breakout level, which is that on the 1 minute chart, you can see that we do tag it. Look to the right. It's perfect level. So also you can see that you have this push up and then this push down and then this push back up. So technically, you could also use this swing right here. See that? Which is the 1046, 47, and 48 candle. Why do I say that? Well, because of the fact that it already made a high and retrace, and then also take a look at the projection here, the 3.5 to 4. We also have this liquidity that we built, plus the breakout level and the imbalance that's sitting there. It's just a nice place to retrace to, and it's on an oversold now. This little move right here is just bogus. It's just fake manipulation. They did that shit on purpose, just to wipe out the people here before they come down and confuse you thinking it's buying. It's also sitting on the top 25% of that bearish imbalance. I'm sorry, yeah, that bearish imbalance. You see that? I think I sidetracked. I meant to say this. You can see that sitting there before we reach up here. And then we bounced there, which is pretty dirty. And then they came a little bit lower into here. So that being also said, you can see the projection from here to here. these consecutive candles. You can see fall real short of that too. You could probably put the bodies here, and then it'd be a little bit sexier. And there you go. So the bodies right there. You can see the 2 to 2.5 right there. Very nice area to just get out of that sell, which I did. And then take a look here. What was I gonna say? So here, oh shit. Hold on, I'm trying to. Yeah, dude. All right, so here, once we're down here, I understand where we are as well. The 5-minute was dangling also, which sucked. But at the same time, if it's bullish, you don't really want to see that, which is what I'm saying here. See that? So we were already in this 5-minute imbalance, but this was super suspect, and we're actually probably coming for that now. They induced that to add more liquidity before they rate it, so that's just probably what it is. We're on an oversold here. This is also the other reason why I sold from the 5 minutes perspective, and then we just probably have a failed high and it's looking weak. But if you take a look, let me do this real quick. As if you see here, if you look at the RSI, look at the 5 minute constantly staying on the upper 50%. That's also telling you it's kind of like a birdie day. And then I knew they were gonna do this at the end of the day. That's why I fucking got into this bitch. So anyone holding the bag here, trying to get up here, they're stuck. So now they're trying to come down. Ultimately for here, I like that gap right there. Let's just talking 5 minute. I also like this 930 level. I still love this liquidity here to get rated. So that's why I'm going to try to hold this for tomorrow, and then we'll see what happens. But let me go back to the 1 minute real quick so I can just try to fucking finish up here. So we got here. I explained that, and then look at so again, I know it's a tough entry, but look at the last down candle here that made. Well, it's not really. It's fine. This 1211. Since this swing low made this low, and then we push up. See the 1212 pushes above that candle, so it pushes above it. It pushes above the 1211, and then it comes back in, and then it doesn't break that low. So we're kind of stuck in this rejection wick here, this demand wick, and it just pretty much holds. That was one way to look at it, and then you have another shift here above, and then we retrace back, and then the 50% is being held on that imbalance. So it's inside that wick, and these are look at the trend line, right? You see that higher lows there. Also a way to get in. For some people, it's just too risky, but it is what it is. And then I stopped marking the chart, to be honest with you, but so I got projected these last two down candles instead of here. Why? Because I'm using these two because these two candles made this low, right? So I'm going to stick with this. And I got the bodies here being highlighted, right? Oh, yeah, that's my eyes were not good today. And then if you take a look, I did the bodies instead of the candles with the wicks. I mean, you can see the 2 to 2.5 here. Ultimately, you have this liquidity here. And then pretty much squeeze everyone out besides not taking out that high. So there was something else I wanted to say, dude. Another reason why the failed high was possible was because of this rejection wick here, this supply wick. So this 1045 here, see this 1045 15-minute candle that makes that swing. So also coupled with the 1030 candle, but this wick, you can see we come in there, we're still stuck in that wick. So and that's pretty much the story there, and now we're coming down. So okay, cool. So anyways, we get up here, and then again, it's just a failed high. It's a dangling carrot to keep pushing, keeping everybody holding the bag here, and then they rip it down. And by here, people are in disbelief. Oh, it's gonna still go up, still gonna go up. I mean, I'm not saying it can't, but just retracing to make some type of higher low would make some easy sense to me. And we'll see how it happens. I'm hoping for a big drop in Asia and London. So anyways, then we come up here, we break here, right? So, I mean, I just got these consecutive candles measured. We're reaching now the 2 to 2.5 right now. 3.5 to 4 would be nice. I'd like to come back to that first imbalance again, back to the 930 area, or to 50% of this bearish imbalance. We'll see what they end up doing, but I knew they were gonna do this at the end of the fucking day, dude. It's so kosher. We'll see what I end up doing. I'm not sure what I'm gonna do here. So, but if you look at the 4 hour here, also there's an imbalance right there in between that candles, which is smack in the middle of that 50% level, plus the 930 levels there. Just a lot of confluence here. I just would like to see it sweep, but if I was to do this swing from here to here, well, that's relative, but we're sitting in at 1.5, so I would hate, even if they tried to build this liquidity, I wouldn't see this holding. I see them rating it anyway. So lower prices to me does absolutely makes perfect sense. Came up deep here once they broke that low though, and then made another lower low and a lower high. So when you see this shift and you see it come all the way deep, sitting in that wick, obviously it can't break that wick if it's going to be a lower high. So then it makes a lower high, it makes a lower low here, and then you kind of see what's going on there. So that's the projection there. But I also have this control fib here. Hopefully this stays in play and we do come to this 1 to 1.5. I'll probably hold it just till there, to be honest with you, if we make it. Maybe even cutting it early. We'll see. I don't know. So you already know. But just so you know, the 15-year historical data and what I want to see happen. Because now when we gap down, the thing is when we push back up, look at the daily. It's covered the gap though with a body, and we have now a body here. So that's why I'm not really counting it. We are on an overbought here. We'll see if we can maybe rush down for a higher low. I would like to see this. If you ask me, I would like to see this gone. I mean, there's no other way I could put this. I would love to come. So there's an imbalance right there. Plus that liquidity would be really nice to get into here. And then take off for the rest of the month. Like literally, like February is just completely bullish. The 15-year, the 5-year, the 30-year, they're all showing a massive push right now. Like today. It's supposed to happen today, and these next 10 days. Like literally. Well, at least 5 days at the least. So how far do they come deep? We have an inversion here. Why do I not have that marked? I'm just gonna leave that. I'm gonna change this to a 1 hour. Yeah, it might not be accurate, but yes, this is kind of like what I'm talking about, right? So also have these consecutive down candles. We'll see what they end up doing. They might not make it this deep. I don't know, man. So like I said, we'll see. But this is the only thing I'm really looking at. I don't really see them coming any lower, if you ask me. So again, we might not even come lower, but depending on the news, I know I've talked. Dollar slowly coming up. That'd be nice for our push down. Divergence work here also. Where do I begin? We had a higher low. We had higher lows here with NAS, and so we were the leader in my opinion. And then that's why that 930 was a nice buy. So we had lower lows here, and we had a nice higher low here. When we pushed up and we rated, that's why I took that sell into here. We had a higher high here, and then we had lower highs at the time. We had lower highs here. So what did we do? We pretty much had another higher low here with NAS. And then this was kind of funky, but again, this was like sort of like dictating everything. But and then we got a nice push up. And then once we had this area here, that's why I sold into here and got out. We had a lower lows here with Dow, and then higher lows here with NAS and S&P. And then this was also a nice sell, and the reason why I sold here was because we had some divergences here on Dow where we had higher highs in NAS and S&P. So that was kind of explaining that sell. I know I've said a lot here, but all right. So now Dow, looking at Dow, I don't know. This kind of, again, I feel like we're still pushing up. So, but man, this is some sloppy price action. We've been stuck in a range, so I don't know if they're gonna use this to sell. If they do, I'm already in it. We'll see, but this is pretty ugly, in my opinion. You got both sides of the market right in front of your face, so it's not really that helpful. But again, like I said, I'd like to see just bullish prices push up. So that's that, and then S&P is literally the same story. Again, we don't have any bodies here, so I do like. Oh, we have a gap down there. That's pretty significant. But yeah, man. I mean, if it was gonna sell off, I mean, it wouldn't go any higher, in my opinion. But at the same speaking, I think we're bullish still. I still think we're bullish, so no question there. And that's just that. But unless this becomes a lower high again, and then they want to raid here, but it's gonna be tricky, man. But right now, I'm just gonna be following the 15-year data and just stick to the script here. And I'm hoping this sell does get into some type of area here. Maybe I'll consider it the 930 low and get out somewhere here, possibly. It depends. But so the next candle that opens up, let's just say this day is obviously Monday. Tuesday, I'd like to see it dip down. If I measured the candle itself, I'd like to see it come down 20%. Into it, maybe even 50% of the candle. You'll dictate the strength and where it's the wick of the next day, which is Tuesday. So to me, this 50% is at minimum as of what we're speaking about now. We also have an inversion here. I'm not going to draw it. It's just too much shit. But do we hold price in it here? I do love this area. In a perfect world, I just would love it for it to come here. Again, we'll see if it even makes it. But and then Nvidia, again, I've made this. I drew this funky, higher high, higher low, and I have not moved it. If you've been following the videos, you know that. And take a look here. We're up here. But if I looked at all the other majors, Amazon looked like it was coming down at first. Apple looks like it's kind of coming down. Tesla looks definitely looks like it's coming down. The bonds here are kind of slowly making its way up, higher highs and higher lows. And then the yields looks like it's still in a retracement too. So I don't know. Let me look at the QQQ right here. Yeah, man, I don't know, because it gapped up and it left some price action. If you look at the QQQ, there's literally empty price action, and it's showing a gap right here at the bottom here. So, dude, I don't know, man. Again, I mean, they did mitigate it. They did. If you look at the QQQ, they did come back down. I know you just go look at the QQQ. I'm not gonna pull it up, but maybe it was good enough. But either way, if this is a higher low and that's a high, and then some type of higher low, I would love for it to just come somewhere here, man. But I don't know, man. Because of it being the 15 historical data, being very bullish right now on the February 10, we might just get tomorrow a big blast off, and they're gonna rush for all this shit now. And I would have just liked them to retrace one more time, only because it will build also liquidity here, and then people who are trying to be bearish, they get their fucking face ripped off. So, yeah, again, not a lot of engagement. I know these videos are now long, but like, I'm kind of going over a lot of things. And then, this Friday's, are we going to use this as support? I hope not. I really want to come down in here. Somewhere in here, I want to come down to. But, you guys take care and God bless.